El Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hazak Baruch Asukim Baruchim. Bezat Hashem. So we're going to finish up, we're going to continue, in the third Aliyah of the week, Bezat Hashem, Parshat Veigash. So Yosef HaTzadik yesterday consoled the brothers. Today he's continuing in this Aliyah, also still consoling them and telling them that you might think, you're the ones, Eliran, Tzadik, you might think what? You might think that you're the ones who orchestrated for me coming down to Eretz Mitzrayim. You should know, in reality, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to take Yaakov Avinu in chains down to Mitzrayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to take, Midrash says, Ra'ui Ayai was befitting for Yaakov Avinu, who had caused a lot of suffering to himself. And it would have befitting him to go with chains down to Mitzrayim. Why? We have many reasons. One of the reasons is that the mythical powers of the Achim gave them too much pride. And one of the ways to break down the pride is obviously through bondage. And therefore Hashem wanted people to understand we're going to be now taking over the land Eretz Canaan, as Hashem promised it to us, but it cannot be with the attitude of too much holiness. And that's what unfortunately was with the Achim. Especially they came to a decree that they decided that Yosef HaTzadik was endangering them, and therefore Yosef HaTzadik had to be killed. So they thought they were doing, whatever they were doing. Yosef HaTzadik is telling them, no, not you shalachtem oti. Lo atem shalachtem oti. It says, you have not sent me here, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent me here because Hashem has mercy on even Yaakov Avinu, who went against his fathers. Where did he go wrong? Yaakov Avinu went wrong by settling in Eretz Canaan, where it says Avraham Avinu was a ger in Eretz Canaan. Yitzchak Avinu vayagor sham, he was a ger. Yaakov Avinu vayeshev, that made Hashem very unhappy. As we know, machloket between Avram and Lot, between Avram's shepherds and the Lot shepherds. The whole machloket over there was that here the land belongs to us already, and Hashem says no. Many people today make a big mistake. They think it's obligation to go to live in Eretz Yisrael. It's not so. It's actually written openly in the Torah that we must be in Galut. We're obligated to be exiled outside of Eretz Yisrael. As it says, Bavel yuvau v'sham tihiyu. The Gemara says, until I call you back.
But this is a mitzvah to settle the land.
So now, that one side is that a lot of Rishonim are big, it's a big argument, and most Acharonim actually, including Ben Ish Chai, including the Lubavitcher Rebbe, held it's against Torah to go to settle in the land until Hashem calls you back. So what's the heter that everybody uses? Most people, what? No, most people use a heter of doing mitzvot truliyot ba'aretz, going to Eretz Yisrael to fulfill the mitzvah of plowing the land, of working the land, separating Maasrot, anything that's shayach to the land to fulfill the mitzvah. Or today, which I could say better, if you have an older father there, older parents, older grandparents, somebody that's there, you could be Mikayem, Kibbut Avayim, that's also, if you're fulfilling a mitzvah, that could be done only in Eretz Yisrael. Like again, everybody's surprised why so many Persians stayed in Iran. Why couldn't they live? Why? Because there's elderly who couldn't travel. So the youngsters stayed to take care of the elderly. You're going to say, that was 40 years ago. What about today? So why not? Okay, already, the others died already. There's a problem. It's a catch-22. So all those youngsters who stayed 40 years ago to take care of the elderly, now they're the elderly. So they have to be taken care of. So again, but there is a concept that the elderly have to be taken care of. It's a mitzvah d'oraita to care for your elderly. So therefore, going to Eretz Yisrael to fulfill that mitzvah also going to be enough. So any reason to find it, you have to have a good reason. You can't go to Eretz Yisrael just to, because it feels good. I feel holy here. Habibi, if you're going there just for your feelings, we tell you it's asur. If you're going there to fulfill a mitzvah, then it's allowed. Otherwise, the Torah tells you clearly, you must stay outside of Eretz Yisrael until I call you. So to Yaakov, Yosef HaTzadik, that says, we were befitting to come here with chains because Yaakov Avinu did a big avera, as we see by Lot was thrown out of the land. And Hashem did not want to talk to Avraham Avinu because of Lot's behavior. What was the behavior? The Lot's assumption the land belongs to us. The same thing with Yaakov Avinu. His assumption, now I'm settling here. Who told you? Who told you? That was the whole thing. The whole thing happened with Yosef. That was the whole pshat. And that's what Yosef is relating to them. Now I'm here as an Adon. I'm here as a master. I'm ruling the land. Tell my father to come over here. I'm going to settle him. Yaakov Avinu, why would Yaakov Avinu go to Mitzrayim? See Tumah, everybody knew the impurities of Egypt. Why would Yaakov Avinu come? So the Pasuk tells us, you know why? I'm going to settle you in Goshen. What's in Goshen? More Avodah Zarah. That's the place of Tumah. No, we have to know, as Gaon Mevilna told us many times, when Gaon Mevilna used to look for a wagon driver, he wanted a religious wagon driver. He doesn't care what religion you give him. As long as you have a religious wagon driver, you know he's not going to he has some kind of fear of some kind of authority. But anybody just without any God, there's a problem. So Yosef HaTzadik tells his father, go to Goshen. Who lived in Goshen? In Egypt? Pasuk tells us that Chokim et Paro, Kohanim of Mitzrayim used to live in Goshen. The servants of so they had some kind of feeling, whatever they had, idol worship or whatever it was. Still, there was some fear of something beyond just our physical thing. So Yosef HaTzadik tells my father he's going to live there in Goshen. And another thing, it was a famous thing. Whoever lived in Goshen, it's like living, I don't know, in chapter, what is it called? Section 8 buildings. What is it called? In New York, they have that all over the place. The DO, Department of Housing. The government provides everything. Yane housing, Yane rent, electrical bills. That's what Goshen was. Yaakov Avinu, Yosef HaTzadik assures Yaakov Avinu, if you come over here, there's not going to be any problems. Why? Section 8, yeah. The Jews are not going to have to go work to make parnasah. Everything will be taken care of them. That was another that's saying, and I will take care of you, my father. Come, okay? And then Yosef starts, finally, they start talking to him, and all of a sudden, the Paro gets the hint of the Yosef's brothers are here, and they all got excited. They're going to see, Yosef is one ruler, what his brothers are, probably generals, and that's in the end. We'll see later on. Paro is actually soliciting Viv Yosef to find out which of the brothers could be an army general or working in the government. So he tells him, please, I'm giving you a blessing. Go tell your father to come to Eretz Mitzrayim, and with this we're going to end, and tomorrow we'll continue exactly what was the command of Pharaoh concerning bringing Yaakov and how they brought him. Remember, Yaakov Avinu didn't want to go with Esav because the Fakum Yom Echad, if you're going to go with your sheep too fast, they're all going to die. So how did it happen here? They all had to come quickly. So we'll find out tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.